Okay, guys, I need some answers because I'm gonna let y'all know what Satanists believe about natural law, right? I'm not gonna go into the specifics about natural law, but listen to this. The wages of sin is death for human beings, right? Because there's the issue of morality because we have free will and higher consciousness, right? But what about animals, right? Did you ever think, why do animals have to die? Are they being punished for the sin of human beings, or is there sin in animals? And it's a very weird question, and I haven't looked it up yet, but I'm going to look it up after this video. But think about this, right? Satanists believe in do as thou wilt, right? They basically believe in natural law. If anything is allowed in nature because of free will, then it must be morally right. They really don't even believe in morality at all. That's the problem. That's where the disconnect is, right? That's why you can't really coexist with them, to be honest. Because anything, they have the opposite belief. It's not like they have their own belief. It's the opposite of the belief that the country was founded on. So think about this. They say an animal, let's take a spider, an insect, an arachnid, whatever you want to call it. Let's take a spider, for example, and go into detail about spiders. Like some female spiders, I'm not sure which ones, they will actually eat their mate after they give birth or something like that. Don't quote me on that, but I know they eat their mate. That can't be, from our point of view, from a human perspective, that is obviously not morally okay or acceptable, right? But that would have to mean that these wild animals that have not been domesticated, because we all know our dogs, right? Our pets, they're like pure innocent. They're like children. They're like the closest thing to God. Like most of us trust our dog more than another human being, which is really sick and sad that we live in such a sadistic and malicious world that people can't even trust each other at this point. And yeah, I mean, we all have trust issues. That's how bad the world has gotten. That's how bad this world is. And listen to this. But let me get back on track, right? So these wild animals, the Bible says that the beasts will take over the earth in the last days. Let me look this up while I'm talking to y'all. The Bible says something about the beasts of the earth in Revelation. I'm going to look it up right now. Because I'm pretty sure most Christians would believe that animals are sinless, right? But why, if the wages of sin is death, why would animals have to die as well? Part of me thinks a theory that I believe might be accurate is that it's a reminder for human beings that our wrongdoing, our fall from grace affected the whole world and all of God's creation and everything in it. That could be the answer, but listen to this. Notice how the devil is obsessed with beasts and natural law. God created the beasts of the earth in Genesis, and in the book of Revelation, the beast of the earth is an apocalyptic monster representing false prophecy. Book of Daniel details 4 beasts representing historical empires. So yeah, Satanists, I'm going to explain what natural law is. I'm going to look up the textbook definition of natural law so you guys understand why Satanists can't understand or seem to grasp the natural law, or the nature of real reality. Natural law. It is a philosophical and legal theory proposing that universal moral and ethical standards are inherent in human nature and the physical world. These objective truths exist independently of human-made laws and can be discovered by anyone through the use of human reason. But this is incorrect. This goes back to Nietzsche, right? Where Nietzsche thought that he came to the conclusion that you could, as a human being, create your own morality. That's an inherently flawed organism, because if there's not something higher than humanity that dictates morality, then why do we know what's right or wrong? How do you know what's right or wrong? It doesn't make any sense, right? And that's why you can't tell a Satanist anything. They won't retain any of the information unless God places the revelation on their heart. Unless God saves them and calls them out from among the world, there's no saving anybody anymore. And another thing I'm going to talk about real quick before I go get my food is that basically we living in the last days. No man knows the day or hour, but y'all need to get this through your head. There's a real war going on right now between good and evil, darkness and light, morality and no morality, right? Now, a good sign, a sign that you're on the right path is if you're wrestling with morality and you're struggling to you're struggling to read between the lines of society, right? Because everyone around you seems to be brainwashed into the no morality, right? No morality is good. And the Bible even says in the last days, evil will be called good and good will be called evil. Every single thing that humanity consumes is evil and is glorified. The wicked prosper while the meek are suffering. So that leads you back to the verse that the meek shall inherit the earth, or the first shall be last and the last shall be first, right? I don't think it's possible to prosper as a true believer. I might be wrong. It might not be possible to prosper on this earth because Satan is the god of this world. Listen. Paul warns that Satan holds temporary, limited influence over the fallen world system, blinding unbelievers to the truth of the gospel. Now, it says that that Satan does not have ultimate authority or power over the physical planet, instead, which means that marine spirits don't have access to the water. So, if you're praying to Jesus Christ and you're looking at the water for a sign, how could a marine spirit? God created the heavens, the oceans, and the earth. No marine spirit could possibly control the waves. That doesn't make any sense. Now listen, marine spirits are real though. I've never seen one, but I know the spirit of lust on the coastal cities. I just learned this last night looking on researching other people, right? The coastal cities seem to be the most immoral cities on the planet. I mean, you go from California to the East Coast, but everywhere you go there's going to be good and evil, right? That's just basic life, right? But I'm gonna stop rambling. I'm not sure if I made anything that made sense in this video. I'm just trying to get these thoughts off my head. And yeah,